Hey everybody, Anna K. Morris here with a quick coaching video. If you know me and have watched my videos before, you know that I'm on the floor in my bathroom. We have a very strangely shaped bathroom, so I'm sorry if it's a little echoey, but this is like a makeshift gym sometimes, and it's also a video recording studio when I don't have access to our office and I have a kid sleeping and another one playing in the pool and like all the things. Don't worry, he's supervised. But I didn't want to miss an opportunity to do a little coaching with you because it's been a minute. I think I took the weekend off. So, and here it is. I know that I said this in one of the last coaching videos, like, what are you waiting for, right? And the one that I shared about my father and like booking a trip to go see him, and just that like we just don't really know how much time we have. And I was in a really, really, really awful mood yesterday, which was Sunday. I'm really like just in a really bad place. And it started creeping in on Saturday, but then it really hit me like full force on Sunday. And then of course I didn't journal or do transcendental meditation. So like it was a real shit show up here. And then everywhere around me and in my family. And like, I just, you know, I firmly believe like I'm the space of whatever's happening. So like the whole family was off, right? Because I was just in such a shitty mood. And I know the things to get myself out of it. And I was able to probably, you know, like by the afternoon kind of shift things for myself. But what it boiled down to is, you know, I was just looking back at when, oh gosh, okay, I always hate when I'm like gonna try to share something like the normal coach would do, and then I end up like having this like hit of what I'm actually supposed to say, and I don't want to because it's so incredibly vulnerable and not nice about myself. And anyway, fuck it, here it goes. So I left New York in the fall of 2012. I moved to Austin, Texas to meet the man of my dreams and get a dog and a backyard with twinkle lights. And that was, I had a dream about it. It was all there, this picnic table that ended up being the picnic table in Derek's backyard. Like I had a dream about it months before. So it's all very meant to be. And if you know my coaching style, you know that like I coach synchronicity and like none of that's an accident. And so like I was paying attention, right? And manifesting what it was that I really desired. And here's where I fucked up. Here's where I abandoned myself. So I like to look back at my life and say like, I really don't have any regrets. And I don't know that this is a regret, but this was a moment 10 years ago when I abandoned myself. And I'm sharing this because I really, really, really want you to get this so that if you're doing it, you can stop it. I had enough money for about 6 months of living before I really needed to like be making money, right? Because I left New York and like moved to Austin to start, I had a wellness consulting business and taught yoga. And then I fell in love with Derek and moved to Houston. So like by the time April, May hit, the money was, you know, like that was the runway. And instead of getting a business off the ground, I was busy like falling in love, you know, which was great and amazing. And I wouldn't change it. And I realize now, and I knew back then too, but like I really, really know now because I've been using like all of my coaching tools on myself, right? Is that like I really had a bunch of mess tied up with money. And I remember crying because like the bank account was just like getting lower and lower and lower. And I was really freaking out. And I'd gotten myself out of like major credit card debt and I never wanted that again. And I was just terrified. So I remember crying and being really, really scared, and Derek comforting me and saying this. And he held my face when he said it. And he said, you don't have to earn your keep here. Because like I felt like I needed to like make as much money as he did and like do all And I felt like I needed to earn my keep. And while that was a beautiful thing to hear, and while I needed to hear it, I also gave away my financial power. I said subconsciously, oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to look at my belief system. I don't have to look at what I make earning money mean. I don't have to look at all of the baggage that I have from a childhood that was very confused around money. I just had differing opinions coming at me all the time, and like I didn't really form my own, and like what money means, and like freedom and choices and the ability to help people, and that like you can make money from like gifts that only you have, that like it's just this incredible offering to the world, and like you can make an abundant life from that, and all that money is just like energy flowing through you, right? It's just like energy, but like that's not, I was taught that it was very limited, and I needed to hang on to it, and I needed to earn a lot of it, and then I needed to hang on to it, and I needed to make sure I spent it right. And I learned very early on that like there was a story in my family that like I was expensive, and that I wasn't very responsible with money, and then I spent a lot of it. So I tapped out. April 2013. I can look back really clearly now, 10 years later. I just got out of it. Totally got out of the money game. Handed it over to Derek. Didn't consciously do it, but subconsciously 100%. So anything that I made from then on was just like fun. And I didn't have to make it like mean. I didn't make it mean anything, right? Well, you can see the problems with that. That's a lot for Derek to shoulder, and everything has worked out, except that like I don't feel powerful, and I haven't had like an active relationship around money. And you know, if you know me, you know that I love Kathy Heller's podcast, and like she's just so powerful around like abundance and it being easy, and like all of that is so true. It's so true. And I found her from Kate Northrup, who I adore and teaches the most amazing money classes. If you're looking to dive deeper on money stuff, I cannot recommend her enough. She's amazing. When I had a radio show ages ago, she was on it. We have a similar kind of money past, and she went to work on it, and I like dipped right out, and I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm starting to get really, really involved in our finances, because what I know is that like energy is abundance. Energy is available to all of us. There's no limited quantity to it. It's all just in my ability to let it flow through me. Right? And as I help more people and make a difference for others, the money comes. And I see that time and time again. And I am building my muscle to trust that and to coach that. And every time I go to think like, what I do doesn't really matter. I'll just take care of the kids. Even though like I really love my kids, but like me being a stay-at-home mom does not fulfill me. And that's really hard to admit sometimes, because I feel really guilty about it. But like the best version of me as a mom is like more part-time. I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just, here's what I know. When we buy houses, I can always see the potential. I can always see how beautiful they'll be in the end. And it gets very messy. It can be very, very messy. And I just think that for me, I'm in that with the money thing. I am not accustomed to thinking that it just flows easily and is no problem. Like I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with our business. And I knew at having my own business, that's my own 2 feet that like I'm responsible for. And we did like all of the QuickBooks and everything last night, and I was like, wow, like I have a real business, like I have bills to pay and all of these things. And there's like responsibility that I think I've been avoiding, that I'm actually like so eager to take on. And that's what I want. That's actually the coaching. I'm sorry it took me 10 minutes to get here, but like, let yourself be a beginner. I knew 10 years ago that I wanted to coach. And I'm circling back because I'm kind of rambling. I knew 10 years ago that I wanted to coach, and I wouldn't let myself do it. I don't know what it was. I didn't feel the confidence. I didn't feel the experience. I didn't have like all of the things on the list. And I'll never forget like this coaching program that I wanted to go and do their training. Like I had to have my life at like an 8 or a 9 in every area of my life in order to coach with them. And it just felt so shitty because like I'm not at an 8 or 9 in all areas. I am aware of it. I am working on it. I have the tools, and I'm obviously like willing to go there. I mean, I'm putting this out on fucking YouTube, and you know, God knows who will watch. So I'm clearly like in the work. And I just don't believe that like anybody that's coaching me has to be at an 8 or 9 in their life, like in all areas. It's fucking ridiculous. So I just want to give you permission and give myself permission to like be a beginner. Just try. Like I just started looking at QuickBooks last night. It was really great. It's mostly just Derek spreadsheets that scare me. It's not actual math and money and all that. I actually really, really love all of that. I just mostly do it in my head, which I was within $50. That was really cool. It's just like you've got to find a way that like feels good for you, and to let yourself be a beginner and find that kind of sweet spot of like, if you're going back to work and you've been staying home with your kids, like what does that look like? For me, it's like 20, maybe 30 hours. It's not 40 or 50. That doesn't work for me. I have a mother's helper that's here right now swimming with Jack, and like I'm gonna pop in and do peanut butter and jelly sandwiches soon and check on Dean, and then like go and do some more work. And that feels really, really good. And so just consider that like you can actually create what's right for you. So whatever that looks like, I love you. I am here for you. One last thing, I have one spot left in my coaching program that starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. If you can't make it, that's okay. Everything is going to be recorded. You're going to get all the support for all the areas of your life. And if you're not an 8 or a 9 or a 10 or even a 5, if you're like a 1 or 2, like that's okay. We're going to be on the journey together, and you're going to get massive support from me and an incredible community, like a tight-knit community. It's, you know, I've capped the number. It's going to be intimate. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be so supportive. And I have one spot left. So message me if you want to be that one spot. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.